Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we're going to be talking about the newly, well, I guess preview released, or I mean they're pretty much released. You can get up to the tier 9 in the pan-European event. But anyway, the somewhat newly released pan-European destroyers, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the event first for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to move on to talking about the ships themselves. So the event is very similar to the British heavy cruiser event, where unlike buying containers and hoping that RNG just blesses you with a mission to unlock said destroyer, you can just go into the armory and do the what they call the random bundle sequence, where you can pay 1,000 doubloons for each item, but you can see what you're getting. So it's a little bit better than the containers, in my opinion, the way they did with the British cruiser event. But the issue, my issue at least, with the pan-European event is that the containers that you get that aren't either the whatever the resource is, the European tokens or whatever they're calling them, it's not really as good as the British heavy cruisers packages, where you could get things like coal modules, not modules, consumables, and signal flags. Where these and free XP. Where in these you're just getting signal flags and XP, free XP and commander XP and the European tokens. So the items you're receiving, they're kind of aren't as valuable as the items that were available in the British heavy cruiser event. Now, don't get me wrong, the signal flags, they are the rarer signal flags, so the more elite signal flags, they are those. So that is, that is worth a bit. That'll save you a lot of time when you're grinding and stuff. And the free XP, that's nice and all, but getting coal, that was really, really nice, especially with some of the coal ships out that many of us wish to achieve. But yeah, not as good as the British cruiser event, but not terrible in and of itself. And just to remember, all these ships are going to be tech line ships, so there's no real point in doing this unless you just really want to get your hands on them, which is fine. And I think it's fine that Wargaming gives you the option to do that, because these ships will be completely free in another patch. So yeah, if you want to get your hands early on them, you don't mind spending some money. I mean, really, you can spend like $10-15 of doubloons and potentially get a couple of these ships. But again, it's completely unnecessary. You don't have to do it, and I actually don't recommend that you do it. I'm just, for those of you that want to do it, it's an option, and I think it's fine that Wargaming offers us this option either way. But anyway, so that's my thoughts on the event. Let's go ahead and talk about the ships now. So the ship I've played the most out of the pan-European line is, of course, the tier 8, the Åland. You can get up to the tier 9 in the containers, but I didn't feel like spending any more doubloons. I just got lucky with the ones that I got and had enough tokens, creds, whatever they're calling them, to get up to the Åland. And the Åland and the ships that I've played, I've mostly played the Åland. I've played maybe 1 or 2 games in the other ones. I do have from the tier 5 to the tier 8, because that's how you have to get them. And they are very difficult to play. I'm not a destroyer main, but I do have other destroyers. I have grinded up a couple of destroyer lines, and I just gotta say, they are really, really difficult to play. They're interesting, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of potential there, and from talking to some of you in Discord, some of you that have played a whole lot more destroyers than I have, they're rewarding once you manage to figure them out and get a hold on them, but they are so hard to learn. It's a big learning curve. The whole gimmick of the line, or the traits, is that, slow turrets, but good reloading guns, fast torpedoes, good torpedo range, not the best gun range, and they're slow, no smoke screen. They do get heals from tier 5 up to tier 10. Actually have pretty decent AA. It's not the best, but, you can actually, take out a couple planes per attack run. I had one game in Åland where I shot down 25 planes, and that was from 2 tier 8 carriers. It was from the Graf Zeppelin and the Lexington. It was actually most of the Lexington planes that I shot down, because he kept coming after me. The Graf Zeppelin left me alone after I wiped out his first rocket squadron. But AA is actually pretty good if you're rolling with a battleship or a cruiser or another destroyer. Y'all should actually be able to handle most carriers. I haven't been put in a tier 10 game with the All-In yet. So against tier 10 ships, it's probably not going to be as potent, but against ships like Lexington, Graf Zeppelin, Saipan, it's been doing okay so far. And the torpedoes, it's definitely the highlight of the ship if you build it right. Currently I have the torpedo module on. I don't have the torpedo captain skill yet, but my torpedoes go 80 knots with a range of 12 kilometers. You get 6 of them, so you don't get a lot, but they got a pretty long range. They are very fast, and they reload in a little over 60 seconds. And if you have adrenaline rush, the way these ships take damage, which is a lot, you will be slinging a lot of torpedoes very quickly, and that's definitely the highlight of the ship. And that's where I struggled most, because the destroyers that I've grinded up, the Harugamo and the American destroyers, I haven't gotten to the gearing yet. I think I'm around tier 8 with the American destroyers. They're all gunboats. I'm used to gunboat destroyers, and these are not gunboat destroyers by any means. The guns are okay if you get into some scraps, but I mean, if you run across any actual gunboat destroyer, you're just dead. I mean, unless it's like a couple of tiers, or like maybe it's like tier 7 or tier 6, you'll probably outgun it. But if you run across anything with good guns, you're doomed. Or if you get outspotted by anything, you're doomed too, because these ships, the engines and the rudder and the modules and everything gets knocked out so easily, even more so than other destroyers, and it sucks. It sucks hard. So yeah, make sure you take last stand, because stuff's going to get knocked out, and you need that stuff to live. Now the heal does, it's nice. You can afford to be a little bit more aggressive, but still at the end of the day, you have to survive to recover your health. So if you don't survive, you can't recover your health, and yeah, it's very punishing, this ship. It doesn't forgive you for slipping up a lot. The other thing too is you definitely need to go somewhere with people in the ship. Go bring a destroyer buddy, bring a cruiser buddy, hang around a battleship or something. Never go anywhere by yourself. It is pretty sneaky. You can get its detection range down to 5.8 kilometers in the All-In, and again, all the other ships are like that. They're fairly stealthy, but there's still ships that can outspot them. And it's not that go by yourself and wreak havoc upon the enemy team's ship. It's best if you go somewhere with another destroyer or another cruiser, hang around somebody. And I do apologize for the footage you're watching. But my win rate in these ships is 0%. Ever since I've been playing these ships, the teams have been trash. And I don't like to bash on teams a whole lot, but I'm sorry, just matchmaking and the game you're watching right now is literally the closest game that I had in playing the pan-European destroyers for this video and getting a feel for them. This is the closest game that I had. And it's also, well, it's not my highest damage game. I think I did get a 90,000 damage game, but I wasn't recording. And it's just mainly because I managed to keep torpedoing a couple of Bismarcks over and over again. I guess they forgot they had hydro. But yeah, this is literally the closest game I had that you're watching right now. So it's hard to give a ship a fair shake when the team is constantly letting you down and not supporting you. So I can't, I don't want to say they're trash, but they are hard to play. They are very hard to play. It's difficult. It's going to be a big learning curve, but I do find them interesting. It's a little bit different because, most for the past couple of years, it's either a gunboat destroyer or torpedo destroyer, and I mean, they're a little bit of both, because they do have nice reloading guns, but you only have 4 of them. But the torpedoes are really good. It's pretty stealthy. It's got decent AA. It does have a heal, which again is nice, but for the average player, it's going to be a big learning curve, guys. But if you're a destroyer player, if you're a destroyer main, you probably already know this and already have an idea of what to expect from these ships. But they're interesting. I do like them right now because of that, and it's because they are different from what I normally play. But I don't suspect they'll be that popular when they get fully released because of how difficult they are to play. And, I don't think they'll be, running around absolutely, dominating the battlefield. but I'm sure there'll be more than a few people that will get these ships down, and they'll probably be fairly difficult to deal with. Because if you do know what you're doing, it is quite terrifying. I've seen a couple of people playing the, what's the tier 9? The Ostrogoth, whatever, it's like 7 syllables. And they do very, very well. Also to note, I guess this may say something about the ships. Every game I've had in this ship, I've finished in the top 5. I'm not a destroyer main, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm doing good at it. I'm just saying, you know, what it is. I've finished in the top 5 on my team in every single game that I've played in this ship. And this could be saying, you know, the ship's pretty good, that I've managed to do that, or you could take it as that's how crappy these teams have been. I had a game where I only did 5,000 damage, and I was number 3 on the team. I'm not joking. 5,000 damage, number 3 on the team. That's the type of teams I've been getting. But as far as damage goes with these ships, I've been doing like 40, 50,000 damage, and just in the Åland. And I know that's not a whole lot of damage at tier 8, but for someone who doesn't really play destroyers a lot, I think that's okay. You know, it's not great, it's not terrible, it's okay. I'm trying to improve, and some of you guys in Discord have been helping out with that. So overall, that's my impressions of the Pan-Asian destroyers. Will it be worth the grind when it comes out? Well, if you like what you're seeing on screen and what I've said about the ships, for you, probably so. But for the average person, it's really difficult. Probably not. You should probably go start on an easier line. Maybe the Americans, or, well, the French are really good right now, but there's no smoke screening with carriers. And the A not being that of the Pan-Asians, probably not. But yeah, if you're looking to start on destroyers, I would probably recommend the American line. They're kind of a good all-around line. You know, just like everything American, jack of all trades, masters of none. That's pretty much what they are. Or the IJN gunboat line. That is the only destroyer line I've grinded up to tier 10 with the Harugamo. And, you know, they're pretty fun and pretty easy to use, so maybe start there too. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. We are getting very close to 9,000. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Alright, guys, hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. I hope we catch all of you guys in the next one.